Yes, I admit that I have high standards, but this doesn't mean that I'm looking for a perfect person, nor does it mean that I want to use marriage to elevate my social status. Sometimes, I do admit that my expectations in certain areas are high. Although I like money, I'm not materialistic. I'm very clear about that. Whenever I can't understand why I haven't met the right person yet, I feel like my values are quite correct, and I'm generally a decent person. My appearance is okay, but I just haven't been lucky enough to meet the right man. As I grow older, I find that I enjoy my time alone more and more, and I truly like this independent lifestyle. I no longer crave socializing, and over time, the opportunities to meet new people have become fewer.
Hey, what is up, YouTube fam? Welcome back to Richie Rich Abroad. I am your host, Richie Rich.
And this is Cheng.
And today we're bringing another video to you in our series of East versus West, the things you will just never see in the Philippines.
Just a fair warning to everyone to always bring your medication with you because of high blood pressure.
I don't have high blood pressure though.
Well, you will have high blood pressure after you watch this video.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
So, but before we head into this high blood pressure rising video, don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get updated on our latest videos.
And you know the drill. Leave your comments below. You know we love to read them and we always respond.
Yes, that's right.
And stick around to the end of the video because you know with her on the scene.
And with him.
It's not me.
Sometimes
there's always outtakes and bloopers. Ching, kick the intro. Let's get into the video.
Kapow!
Rolling by trike. Here we go.
Currently, the partner selection standards among older single women are rising, reflecting a high exchange rate in this transaction. As these women become more valued in the market, they resemble high-flying stocks, difficult for ordinary men to acquire. Just like stocks, which often have bubbles and are risky, these women's expectations can also be challenging and distant from reality. This dynamic generates intense and often unsustainable comparisons.
I think this is a good comparison to the stock market because I think in the beginning, your stock is high, your value is high. For a lot of women, their stock is high, their value is high. They got a good education, they're beautiful, they're pretty, all that stuff. But I think the thing that a lot of women don't get in the dating marketplace, their value simply decreases over time.
So just like you compared it with stocks and the video compared it with stocks, I'm gonna compare it with cars. Because as a new car, it's expensive, and then as as time goes by, the car depreciates its value. So I think it's also the same with women in general. And also, there's a keyword that I got from there. It's like their expectations are distant from reality.
Distant from reality.
Distant from reality.
Which means they're delusional.
Yeah.
They're very delusional.
Very good synonym for delusional. Anyway.
To illustrate, let me share an adapted story. Liu, a 21-year-old young man, worked as a laborer at a delivery point in Dongguan. He met a 23-year-old girl who worked as a cashier in a cyber cafe.
Was that the girl?
I'm not sure. I thought although...
Liu, you could have done better, bro. I'm just saying, brother. I'm just saying, Liu. You probably could have done better because that was...
But most women in China are skinny.
99.9% of the women are significantly thinner than that woman we just saw.
Does it something to do with where you live?
It does, because if you look at this picture, they're obviously in the countryside. A lot of things tell me that they're in the countryside. So it might be a little more acceptable for her to be a little bit more chunky. In the city, you just could not be that big.
I see.
You could not be. You would be ostracized. You would never be able to date. You would never be able to date in the city.
Okay.
Cashier in a cyber cafe and didn't mind his low salary. After dating for a while, she expressed a desire to marry, which surprised Liu, who thought he wasn't ready yet. Fearing that she only wanted to fulfill the task of marrying and having children, he distanced himself. 3 years later, the girl, now 24, was reintroduced to Liu. Both had matured and sat down to talk. She shared her work journey in various fields and expressed her willingness to marry. Liu, now in a more stable job, no longer felt pressured and thought he could marry at 30. However, his standards for choosing a partner had risen, including the expectation.
So 3 years later, he's 24. Now he's got a little bit of a career. He's got some bread in his pocket, and he knows he has some leverage now. He can choose. At 21, he didn't have nothing. Who has anything at 21 years old?
You're still establishing.
Yeah, you're still working. You're still working hard trying to figure it out. But at 24 now, he's starting to get in where you fit in. He's starting to make some money. Got some choices he can make, and we'll see where she is.
Including the expectation of having a house and a car. Another 3 years passed, and Liu encountered the same girl again, who had changed significantly. Now well made up and with a sophisticated look, she revealed that she was ready to marry, but her experiences with men had made her demanding. She was looking for someone with a degree, a height above 1.75 meters, an annual income exceeding 200,000 soles. This dynamic is complex. Women seek men who can offer security and stability, while men often feel pressured to meet standards that are beyond their reality.
So she's 27 now, I think, made up. But now she's demanding. You got to have this. You got to have that. You need this. You got to have. And he's like, I don't know if I'm messing with you no more.
But it all boils down to, like a lot of women in general, like when they have a specific amount of education, like for example, they have a master's degree or a PhD degree, they put themselves highly, thus making other men feel like they cannot achieve those standards because they're requiring a certain amount of educational degree.
Having a degree is cool. Having a master's degree is cool. But how does that make you more valuable? How does that make you more valuable to me
as a wife?
Yeah, as a wife. You being able to change. You don't need a PhD to change a baby's diaper.
I know, right?
Or
to be a good cook, or to be a person who can take care of her husband.
Yeah, I'm not putting down somebody with a higher degree. I'm just saying, I don't think that most men care. Is what I'm saying. I don't think most men care what kind of degree you have. For myself, I kind of would like for somebody to have a bachelor's degree, just have some kind of an education behind them, so we can have some things
intellectual conversations
that we can talk about, right? But I don't think it's imperative for most men that you have a higher degree or anything, and I don't think that's a requirement. That's why men can grab a woman out of McDonald's or Jollibee and marry her, because we ain't worried about all that stuff. We just, is she gonna be a good wife to me? Is she gonna be a good mother to my children? Is she gonna give me the coochie every day?
I am a good girl.
Right? Every day, son. Right? But that's what we care about. Is she cute? Does she have a good disposition? Is she gonna treat me good? That's what we care about. But women understandably need to care about, safety, security, and all that stuff.
Yeah, and also as for women, a lot of women think differently, that when you reach a certain level of education, you've established yourself, you have a good career.
Right.
A lot of women think that they're already a good catch for some men, but not a lot of men think like that the education is. The education matters.
Yeah. Not only that, but you alienate yourself from a lot of potentially good catches, because now you have a higher degree than he has, right? And if you feeling like, well, he's got to match me, a lot of men won't be able to match you, and they might be actually a good catch for you, but now you've pushed them to the side and said they're not good enough for you. So, that's why you're where you are.
And it's also prioritizing what do you really want in life. So if you really want to prioritize your career first, then you will have to neglect having a relationship. But you can have it both ways, having a relationship and at the same time establishing your career.
You're a goddamn genius. You were...
I'm done.
Oh, okay.
I'm done.
Enough. Let's go ahead and keep going.
In the current context, where China's economy has surged and urbanization is rapidly advancing, the desire for material goods and comparison of social status have intensified. The scarcity of good men becomes a limited social issue, and many women seeking to improve their conditions believe that marriage is the solution. This creates a vicious cycle where the pressure for high expectations results in discontent and frustration. In the end, what we can see is that older single women, in their search for partners, end up raising their standards.
So you see here, in China, it's super, super common. On the weekends, people go to the park, and they have the park is filled with parents, and now a lot of
The women.
a lot of older women, a lot of leftover women. The park is filled with them, and they're looking for a match. And I'm telling you, in China, if you reach 35 to 40 years old and you're still single, as a woman, it's your fault, because everybody and their mother has set you up on blind dates. They've set you up with dudes that they thought were a good match. Your uncles, your aunties, your neighbors, your friends, your mother, your father. Everybody has set you up with blind dates. You've had tens of hundreds of blind dates. You telling me none of those cats were good enough for you? I'm just saying.
Yeah, and maybe if they're not good enough for you, then your standards are there's something wrong with your standards.
Or there's something wrong with you.
Or maybe.
One of the two. One of the two. But in those parks, you can see all the people milling around. That's every weekend. If you go to Zhongshan Park, if you go to Zhongshan Park, if you go to Rimning Guanchan, which is People's Square in Shanghai, every weekend is filled with parents, and that's all they do. That's their whole social thing. It's just to hang out in the park, talk to other parents, and try to get their kids married.
It's like a fiesta.
It's like a fiesta. It's like a little party, an old people party. Right.
And also your Chinese sounds. You look. Yeah.
Me and him got the same mama. I'm Blackanese.
I like it when
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, let's next clip.
I went to a blind date at the People's Park. Although I still haven't found someone and don't know exactly what I want, I think I now know what I dislike. But in reality, very few people were there for themselves.
Right, it's usually parents. It's usually the parents that go there, and I'm telling you, it's a social thing. And by the way, don't believe the hype that's listed on the sheets. They bullshit. It's so much of it is BS. I mean, if he's really 5'6", they'll say he's 5'9".
So they'll exaggerate.
They exaggerate everything. So that's BS. But the point is, people really go to these. It's a big deal in China. It's all about your family, his family, because they say in China you don't just marry the person, you marry their family.
Oh, something similar. Huh?
Yeah. I mean, there are some similarities. Status is a big deal. Face. This is the one big difference. Is face is so powerful in China that no one will do anything. They will not swallow their pride. They're not going to let go of their ego. Face is huge in China. It is huge. So if your girlfriend married a dude that made like 500,000 yuan a year, you gotta find a dude that makes 550,000.
Yeah.
Or you got to lie and say he does. One of the two. Yeah.
Because of the existence also of social media, you tend to compare your life to your friends,
right.
And when you don't have the same life that your friend has, then they will think lowly of you.
So many people are perpetrating over there. 30 million people in Shanghai. The average salary is 13,000 renminbi. So 13,000 Chinese renminbi is equivalent to 1,700, almost 1,800 US dollars a month, right? So that's what they're making a month in a city of Shanghai where it is very expensive to live in Shanghai. But you look at what the women are asking for is crazy.
I know,
is
right?
Absolutely crazy.
So you must have spent your lifetime saving for that dowry that they're asking.
Well, when you put it in perspective, right? When you put in perspective that the average woman is asking for 300,000, right? 300,000, and the average salary is 13,000. How much money do you got? How long do you have to save just to get married, right? You're gonna have to save up 5 years just to marry a woman, right? 5 years just to get married or something like that.
By the time you get married, the woman is already
she
40.
can't even have babies no more, right? Exactly. But in truth, the parents usually help them. The parents help them with the house. They help them with the car. The parents basically start saving from the moment they get married. They start saving for their kids to have a house, a car, and all that stuff. He puts his money together. The parents put their money together. They all put the money together, and they make sure he has a house, he has a car, and he has a good salary, and then he's eligible for marriage. Right.
It's also investment because they will live together with their son.
It's a huge. It's like the same principles here. It's an insurance policy because they know they're going to live with their son when they get old, and he's expected to take care of them.
Got it.
Yeah.
Most were parents or intermediaries representing their children. What really caused a stir was my requirement regarding the height of the guys. In what I wrote, I specified that I wanted someone over 1.75 m tall and made it clear that I like taller guys. But there was an older man who stood in front of my booth and started telling me, with this height requirement, you will definitely not find someone.
And real quick, 1.75 meters is 5'9", 175 centimeters. It's 5'9" if you're American.
So in perspective, what's the average height of Chinese men?
It's like 1.7. 1.70.
1.70.
Yeah.
So if she's looking for 1.75, it's like above average.
She wants above average.
Okay.
She wants above average, right?
Got it.
If 1.75 m is too high, what about 1.73 m or 1.72 m? You should lower it to 1.70 m. Later, some enthusiastic onlookers said I shouldn't impose such demands on others, claiming that their child clearly didn't meet the 1.75 m height, and that I should learn to argue my case. I could probably accept an answer like that instead of making me feel that liking tall guys is a mistake. I think this should be a form of covert pressure. When you're really searching and face these doubts or questions, I still hope for someone who loves me or still believe in love. So, I also hope that if older people genuinely care about young people's dating issues, they need to change the way they communicate. Now, according to the advice of the older gentleman, I've changed my height requirement to 1.80 m or above.
You were advised that you lower your height requirement, and then you increased it even more.
Right.
So the chances of you getting a good luck on finding a partner.
Ego won't let her lower her standard. She will lose face if she does that. Because then she's admitting that she made a mistake. She's admitting that she was wrong. She's admitting that in her mind, she's looking at it like, okay, I should lower my standards because I'm not good enough to attract that kind of man. And I cannot admit to myself that I'm not good enough to attract that kind of man. And you don't have to, but you're not. And you couldn't.
But what if the man is good in other qualities except for that 1.75?
I don't know. You got to ask her. Right.
She adjusted it to 1.8.
She's a crazy one.
3岁了，是别人口中的大龄剩女。
I'm already 33 years old, and in the eyes of others, I might be considered a so-called leftover woman. Many people's first impression is that I have very high standards. In their view, not only must my partner meet certain criteria in terms of appearance and height, but also have a good job, a good family background, a high income.
How will you come on, get in front of a camera, with your hair looking scraggly, you looking like Wednesday Addams. I don't understand. And then have the nerves enough to say you have high standards. I don't understand. I really don't understand. 33 years old. It's not particularly old, right? But in China, it is old.
It is considered old.
It is, and I'm telling you, it is no joke over there. When you get 33 years old, even in Shanghai, Chongqing, Beijing, even in those Guangzhou, even in the big cities, that's too old. That's your chance of getting married especially to a man who's never been married before, who never had kids, not divorced. About like this.
Yeah.
Those are about your chances.
Actually, here in the Philippines, we also have like the same thing. Like during family reunions, your aunties and your uncles will ask you, "Oh, why are you still not married?" Something like that, but something discreet, like during reunions. But they're not going to pressure you to be married or call you a leftover woman. But it is the same reality with what's happening with China. And
Good family background, a high income, and excellent character. Yes, I admit that I have high standards, but this doesn't mean that I'm looking for a perfect person, nor does it mean that I want to use marriage to elevate my social status. I'm not the type to have unrealistic expectations of finding someone who can help me leap across social classes. In fact, what I truly hope for is to find someone who resonates with me in terms of values and worldview, someone who can understand me and be in sync with me. Sometimes, I do admit that my expectations in certain areas are high. Although I like money, I'm not materialistic. I'm very clear about that. Whenever I can't understand why I haven't met the right person yet, I feel like my values are quite correct, and I'm generally a decent person. My appearance is okay, but I just haven't been lucky enough to meet the right man. As I grow older, I find that I enjoy my time alone more and more, and I truly like this independent lifestyle. I no longer crave socializing, and over time, the opportunities to meet new people have become fewer.
Cope.
Perhaps I'll remain single like this.
So when you cannot find a partner, you'll just say, I'm okay with being single. I don't...
Cope. It's just cope. I mean, what else are you going to say? What else are you going to say? You're going to start crying on camera?
We're the good man.
I mean, what else are you going to say? Nobody wants your ass, right? I mean, either you learn to cope with it, learn to deal with it. I'm getting older. I can't find the dude I want, don't want me. I just keep getting older and my standards are still the same. I'm not going to lower my standards. So I just got to learn to cope with it. She said, people don't even invite me places no more. It's cope.
Yeah, and also the fact that you are invited to several dates or set up into meeting a lot of men and then you still didn't lower your standards, then there's something that is something that you want to think about or rethink or adjust your standards, even some lower, not totally lower your standards. I mean, you want a man who has a character, have a decent job, or those are the non-negotiables for you.
Thanks for the heads up.
Good sense of humor.
Good sense of humor.
Yeah, why are you doing all this? What's that about? You gotta have a good sense of humor.
Yeah. Okay. And you must be willing to participate.
In what? Special activities.
Special activities.
Okay. Yeah, adult
special activities. Yes.
Yeah, I got you. The standard is what it is in China. For a woman to marry you, you must have a house. You must have a car. That is the standard in China. Look it up, Google it. I don't care. I spent 8 years there. I know what it is. If you don't have a house or a car, she's not going to marry you. You must pay a bride price, right? You're going to have to pay a bride price, have a house, have a car, and have a good salary for her to marry you. And if you got all four of those, I don't know why you would pick a 38-year-old woman. I just don't know why you would, because you'll certainly have a lot better choices. Yeah, you'll have a lot better options. That's how it is there. But you can see the comparison to the West, where a lot of women are saying, oh, he has to have this, he's got to have that, this, and that. It might not be a house, but he'd have to have a car. He would definitely have to have a car. But you can see the standards are the same, and you can see they're getting the same results.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the picture?
Yeah, you don't end up getting with a partner because your standards are too much.
But in the West, they end up having babies, though, don't they? Anyway, that's the video. Let us know what you think. You know what to do. Leave your comments below. We always read them, and we like to respond.
Yeah, and also don't forget to hit the like, to subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get updated on our latest
Only if we
videos.
earned it. If we earn your like, man, hit the like button. If we earn the like, please.
Do we earn it? Do you like it?
Subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
We're good people. I mean,
right?
She's cute. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Stay tuned for our next video where we're going to talk about something that is super important to you. We really don't know what it is yet.
But it's super important.
It's super important, and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Stick around to the end of the video, because with her on the scene.
It's you also. You stutter.
I'll stutter. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the video. King.
Who's king? Who's king? King Kong?
What's your non-negotiable?
You have to have a job and you need to treat me and my boys.
6.
I don't need that. You just need to treat me and my boys right.
That's it? It seems like it's that tough.
It isn't. Okay. I don't have a hell of a standard.
Okay.
And you need to have like
what?
No.
I got one of them.
A good sense of humor.
Oh, good sense of humor.
Good sense of humor.
Yeah, why are you doing all this? What's that about? You gotta have a good sense of humor. Yeah. Okay.
And you must be willing to participate.
In what? Special activities.
Special activities.
Okay. Yeah. Hit the like button, subscribe button.
Oh, you're so mellow.
No, the people out there,
I know.
Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel.
That's what's up.
Tired of y'all. I'm playing, y'all. Y'all know I'm a joke. You thought she was only joking. I'm a jokester. Until then, if you like this video, we have a whole bunch of other videos that are just as good, if not better, so check those out too.
In the meantime, between time,
I'm Richie Rich for Richie Rich Abroad.
and I'm Chang.
Deuces.
We're out.